everyone, welcome to I Am Yogi. My name's Sophie and we are doing a flow class today. So we're going to start seated. So get yourself comfortable. If you like to prop yourself up on a block or a cushion, then you can. Just to lift the hips a little higher than the knees. And then finding a bit of length through the spine, not sitting up too rigid, but just making sure that we're not slouching. Make sure you've got a nice bit of space at the front of the body to be able to breathe deeply. And then doing any little movements that you need to do before getting yourself settled. So any little shoulder rolls, any movements, any little wiggles, if you need to stretch the legs out or anything. And then when you're ready, closing the eyes or softening the gaze. And we'll just take a couple of moments to arrive and settle on our mat into our space today. So starting to do a quick scan through the body. Just noticing your body in the room. Noticing your body sat on your mat. Really allowing the sit bones to root down into the earth or into any support. And just checking in with how the physical body feels. Not making any judgments. But just noticing if there's anything that you need to be aware of throughout your practice today. If you're working with any injuries, any niggles. Just taking a moment to consider that and think about what you might need to do to make your practice feel safe and comfortable for you. Noticing if there's anything in particular on your mind today. And consciously starting to set that to one side. Bringing your attention to your breath. And just noticing the natural rhythm of your breath. Maybe starting to send it a little bit deeper. But without force. And if your mind starts to drift, gently guide it back to your breath. So throughout our practice today, we're going to be focusing on dharana and drishti. And dharana means the binding of consciousness to a single spot. And this can be found whenever a person is fully present and focused on an activity or an object. So it's not just in our yoga practice, we can take this into our everyday life. And dharana is the sixth limb of yoga. The practice of concentration. And that focus that prepares us for meditation. And this kind of focus can help to cure the inner conflicts of the mind. When you're completely focused on one thing, you can't be in two minds about something. But firstly, we have to acknowledge and try to accept that the mind is busy and the mind will jump. Thoughts will come and go. But part of this practice is to repeatedly return your focus to that one point. And that might be an image, it might be your breath, it might be your fingertips or your big toe in your physical practice. And this is your drishti, your focused gaze. So fully immerse yourself in your practice today. Set an intention to practice dharana, but don't judge yourself if the mind is busy. Just try to accept it and find something to focus on, your drishti. Always be curious about where your gaze is, what you're looking at during moments of stillness and movement. So take a moment to come back to the breath if you've lost it. Starting to send it a little bit deeper. And lengthening out the exhale. Bring your awareness to your pelvis. And imagine that there's a glowing golden light in the center of your pelvis. As you next breathe in, see if you can send your breath down towards that light. And imagine that the light is expanding. And find a little release through the pelvic floor. With your exhale, find a hug and lift through the pelvic floor, and imagine that you're trying to draw that light all the way up through the center of the body and out through the nose. Take a long, deep breath in through the nose, send it all the way down into the pelvis. That light expands. And with your exhale, a slight hug and lift through the pelvic floor, hug the low belly in like we're hugging that light all the way up through the center of the body and out through the nose. Keep it going. Deep inhale, send it all the way down, that light expands. And with the exhale, that little hug and lift through the pelvic floor, hug the low belly in and push the light all the way up and out through the nose. And we'll take a few more rounds of this breath. But we're going to try and keep this breath with us throughout our practice today. So it might feel a little bit strange if you haven't done this breath before. Just try your best. Every time you notice that you've lost it, just come back to it. Inhaling deep. And with that exhale, hug and lift. Start to take a couple of rolls through the neck, so lowering the chin to the chest. Just find that length down the back of the neck. With your next inhale, sweeping your right cheek up against the right shoulder, take it all the way over the top and exhale down the other side. Chin comes towards the chest. Inhale as you sweep the right cheek up against the right shoulder. Drawing a line with the nose all the way over the top and exhale down the other side. Just a couple more. So we're not throwing the head back, crunching into the back of the neck. We're keeping it quite soft. Pause wherever you are and then take it in the opposite direction. Just noticing any little clicks and crunches. And make sure that you're still using that breath, inhaling deep into the pelvis. And then with the exhale, that hug and lift. Coming back to center. We're going to bring the thumbs to the insides of the palms and wrap the fingers over the thumbs, and then just take a couple of rolls through the wrist. going in one direction and then the other. Check that you've still got the breath. Giving the fingers and the wrists a little shake out. We're going to bring the right hand down by the side of us, plant the palm into the floor, and then with your inhale, sweep your left arm forwards, draping the back of the hand across the floor, and then reaching the fingertips up to the ceiling, opening the chest up to the ceiling, and keep taking the arm all the way down. 3 circles. Inhale as you sweep it round, all the way up. Exhale down the other side. 1 more. Inhale as you sweep the fingertips up, opening the chest up to the ceiling, dropping the fingertips down. We're going to sweep the fingertips up and then pause in a side bend. So make sure both sit bones are rooting down into the earth. Press down through your right fingertips. And if you feel like you're bunching your shoulder up against the ear, just slide the arm away. And you can look up to the ceiling, you can look straight out ahead, or you can look down to the floor. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. With your next inhale, come all the way up. Left hand comes down to the floor. Inhale to sweep your right fingertips, brushing the floor with the back of the hand, and then reaching your arm all the way up and over, taking those big circles. Inhale, sweeping the back of the hand across the floor, reaching all the way up and over. 1 more circle. And then reaching your fingertips up to the ceiling, getting that side bend over to the other side. Maybe you're sliding the hand away, just creating a bit more space for the neck. Maybe you're looking up to the ceiling. Maybe you're looking straight out ahead or to the floor. Breathe for 3. For 2. And for 1. Inhale, come back to center, and then float the fingertips down. If you're sat up on a block or a cushion, just move it to one side. Bring the hands onto the knees. With your next inhale, scoop the chest forward. So seated cat-cow, feel this tilting forwards of the pelvis. And with your exhale, really round through the spine, bring the chin to the chest. Inhale, scoop the chest forwards, lean forwards, lift the chin, lift the gaze. Find a spot on the ceiling to focus on. And then exhale as you round through the spine, chin to chest. You could always close the eyes here. Inhale, scoop forwards. And exhale, round through, leaning back, finding the sit bones. Inhale forwards. And exhale back. Take a couple more. So you might want to close the eyes here or soften the gaze. Try and find something that really focuses your attention, and that might be the breath. Come all the way back to center. We're going to cross the legs the opposite way to how we had them before. If you want to give them a little stretch out before coming to sit cross-legged again, then you can. Bring the hands back onto the knees and inhale to scoop the chest forwards. Exhale to lean back, really round through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, scoop forwards. And exhale, lean back. Go at your own pace. And with your breath, start to, with that hug and lift and drawing the low belly in, try and keep that a little bit throughout your practice. So try not to release too much as you breathe in. So about 85%. Come back to center, rolling over the legs or roll to one side, make your way to all fours. Come to find your tabletop. Knees underneath the hips. Spread the fingers. Find a comfortable place for the wrists and press through the tops of the feet. Keep the weight into the left hand, and then with your inhale, lift your right hand off the floor and make a cactus arm. So the palm is facing down and we're squeezing through the right shoulder. Take a breath in, and with your exhale, start to lower your cactus arm. Forearm is parallel to the floor, palm faces in. Inhale as you lift, keep pushing the ground away with the left hand so we're not collapsing to the floor. And exhale as you lower the hand, palm faces in. One more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lowering the arm, palm faces in. Plant the hand down to the floor, give the left wrist a little shake out and a roll. And then coming to do the other side. Plant the right hand into the floor. Inhale as you lift the left arm, make a cactus arm, squeeze through the shoulder, palm faces down. Keep pushing the ground away with the right hand. Take a breath in, and then with your exhale, lowering your cactus arm, forearm parallel to the floor, palm faces in. Inhale, lift. And exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale to lower. Plant the hand down into the floor, tuck the toes under, walk the palms slightly forwards, spread the fingers, root down through your fingertips and your knuckles, and find your downward facing dog, sending the hips high to the sky. Chest towards the thighs, but without sinking too much into the armpits. And have a good pedal out through the legs. So any movements that feel good for you here. Press through the forefinger and thumb. And really take your time here. So your drishti, your focus point, can be to the toes, between the feet, to the knees. Bend the knees, lift the heels, sink the chest towards the thighs, so we're crouching down towards the floor. Keep pushing the ground away with the hands. Look down to the floor directly underneath the face. And then pushing through the feet with your inhale, start to lift the hips high to the sky. Draw the low belly in and really wave and round through the spine as you ripple forwards to a plank. You might need to shuffle the feet back a little bit, press the heels towards the back of the mat and press the ground away. You can always set the knees down and come to half plank. Push the ground away, start to round through the upper back, start to lift the back body all the way up towards the ceiling as you push the weight back to your downward dog. Bend the knees, keep the heels lifted, crouching down towards the floor. Push the ground away with the feet. Inhale as you start to lift all the way up, rounding through the whole of the back. Hug the low belly in and wave forwards to your plank. Inhale as you push the ground away, round through the upper back, send the weight all the way back to your downward dog, bending the knees, getting low to the floor. One more. Push the ground away with the feet, wave yourself forward to your high plank. And then pushing the ground away with the hands, round through the back and send it back to your downward dog. Pause for a moment here, find your drishti. That might be between the feet to the knees. And then looking between the hands, walking the feet to the top of the mat. And come to your deep forward fold. Let the whole body hang heavy. You can take the feet a little wider than the hips if you want to. You can take hold of the elbows, have a sway from side to side. Gaze is either to the knees or maybe to the back of the mat. Press down through the feet, allow the arms to hang heavy. Tuck the chin into the chest and slowly roll yourself up. Taking your time, take as many breaths as you need to roll yourself up to Tadasana, your mountain pose. Once you're up, Maybe stepping the feet together if that is in your practice, or you can have the feet a little bit further apart. Spread the toes, press down through all 3 points, ball of the big toe, ball of the little toe, and the middle of the heel. Find that little lift in the inner arch. As you lift up through the crown of the head, palms open towards the top of the mat, little brightness in the fingers. And take a moment to close the eyes or soften the gaze. Come back to the breath. If you'd like to have the eyes open, just find a spot in front of you to focus on. With your next inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, look to the thumbs. Exhale, as you bend the knees, hinge forward from the hips and fold all the way down. Bring the hands to the shins. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. You can slide hands up to thighs or keep them on the shins. But find this length through the spine. Reach out through the sit bones, reach out through the crown of the head, and your gaze is down to the floor directly underneath the face. With your exhale, fold forward, plant the hands into the floor, step it back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, lift the heels, crouch low to the floor, and then push the feet into the floor as you wave forward with your inhale to your high plank. Set the knees down, elbows are facing back towards the hips, slightly bend the elbows and lower halfway. Keep a little broadness across your chest and a little broadness across your back. Make sure the hips aren't dipping. Breathe. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Push the ground away as you lift up, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step your right foot to your right wrist, find your grounding, and with your inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine, hover the fingertips over the floor, push down through the feet and roll up through the spine, reach your arms up towards the ceiling and find your high lunge. Take a breath in, straighten through the front leg, reach through the fingertips. And with your exhale, lean forward, bend the front knee, lion's breath. Inhale, reach up, straighten through the front leg. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale out. Inhale, reach up. Hands come down to the floor. Step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale as you look between the hands. Exhale, step or jump the feet to the top of the mat, fold forwards. Next, inhale, roll up through the spine, sweep the arms up overhead, look to the thumbs, and exhale to fold all the way down. Hands to the shins, inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold, plant the hands into the floor, step it back, downward dog. Bend the knees, lift the heels, sink the chest to the thighs, and with your inhale, wave forward to your plank. Exhale the knees down and bend the elbows slightly, that little halfway push up. Breathe. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Push the ground away as you lift up, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg to the sky. Exhale, step the left foot to the left wrist. Make sure you're on 2 lines. Inhale as you wave long, lift and lengthen through the spine. And then with your exhale, push down through the feet and rise all the way up. Next, inhale, straighten through the leg, reach up through the fingers. Exhale, out through the mouth. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Just letting go of the cobwebs. Inhale, reach up. 1 more for good luck. Inhale, reach up. Hands come down to the floor. Step it back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Find your drishti. Pushing the ground away with the fingertips and the knuckles. Hips high to the sky. Inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, step or jump the feet to the top of the mat, fold forwards. Inhale as you rise up, roll through the spine, sweep the arms up overhead, look to the thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center and down by the sides of the body, find your mountain pose. Feel free to separate the feet or bring them closer together and take a moment here to reconnect with your breath and find your drishti. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale to fold. Hands to the shins. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, lift the heels, crouch low to the floor, and with your inhale, wave forward to your high plank. Exhale the knees down, bend the elbows, keep them into the waist, and lower all the way down to the floor. Press through the tops of the feet. Inhale as you peel your rib cage off the floor, shine the heart forward, baby cobra. Exhale to lower. Push yourself up onto all fours, tuck the toes, exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot to your right wrist. Inhale as you wave long through the spine, and with your exhale, push down through the feet and rise up. Take it slow. Sweep the arms up overhead. Inhale, straighten through the front leg. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, out. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, out. Inhale, lift up. This time, bring the hands down behind the back, interlace the fingers, set your left heel down to the floor, bend into the front knee. Reach your fists down to the floor, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and exhale as you fold into humble warrior. Reaching your fists either up towards the ceiling or keeping them close to the back if that feels more comfortable. Gazing down either to your right big toe or back towards the left big toe. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Release the grip. On your inhale, sweep the arms up, lift the back heel, come back to your high lunge, hands come down to the floor, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. With your exhale, come forward to a high plank, knee towards the chest. Here, you can either extend your right leg out to the left, outside edge of the right foot comes to the floor, lift left fingertips to the ceiling for fallen star, or set the right knee down, left foot down, and supported side plank. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Left hand comes down to the floor. Step it back to slide your right leg back in. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot to the right thumb or wrist. Set your left heel down to the floor, heel to heel or heel to instep. Lift up slightly and bring your right hand to your right shin. So we're holding on to our shin here. With your inhale, sweep your left arm forwards and up, and then exhale as you roll it back and down. So we're taking big circles. Inhale, sweep forwards and up. Exhale, roll it back and down. One more. Inhale, up. Exhale, roll it back and down. With your next inhale, start to straighten through your front leg. Imagine you've got a bow and arrow, and we're draping our left fingertips across the right forearm, reaching left fingertips up to the ceiling for Trikonasana, our triangle pose. So really pushing your right toes into the floor, looking up to the top hand if it feels okay. Breathe for 3, head is neutral, for 2, and for 1, looking down towards your right big toe, bring the hands down to the floor, step your left foot to meet the right foot at the top of the mat and fold forwards. With your inhale, roll up through the spine, sweep your arms up overhead, bring the weight onto your left foot and lift your right leg out in front. You can stay here or you can extend the leg. You can flex So you can point or you can floint. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Set the foot down to the floor. Keep reaching up through the fingertips. Bring the weight into the right foot. Inhale, lift the left. Keep pushing down through the right foot. Lengthen up through the body. You can extend your left leg if you want to. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Take a breath in. With your exhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat and turn to the long edge of the mat. Turn the toes out to the corners of the mat. Shuffle your feet around if you need to. So a nice wide stance. Knees are in line with the toes. Sink the hips down into goddess. So you can always shuffle the feet around if you need to. Imagine that you're sliding your back down a wall, so we're not sticking the bum out or leaning forwards. Bring your arms out in front and wrap your right arm underneath the left arm, either taking backs of hands together or maybe palms together for your eagle arms. Lifting the elbows slightly, find that stretch across the shoulder blades. With your next inhale, lift the fingertips up to the ceiling, lifting through the center of the chest. Your drishti is your fingertips or your thumb. And with your exhale, rounding through the back, bring the elbows towards the stomach, chin to the chest. Inhale as you lift up, fingertips to the ceiling, lifting through the center of the chest. And exhale to round through the spine, elbows towards the stomach. One more, inhale, lift up. And exhale to lower, elbows to the stomach. Inhale as you come back to center, release the arms, look to the top of the mat, take a breath in, and with your exhale, let it out through the mouth, step to the top of the mat and lift the leg. If you want to try again, because it's really weird, step back, feet wide, look to where you want to go, take a breath in, exhale, well done. Hold it here, you can bend the knee or you can extend the leg. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Set the foot down to the floor, bring the palms together, hands all the way down to the heart center, down by the sides of the body, find your mountain pose. Take a couple of breaths, observing the body. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, look to the thumbs. Exhale as you fold all the way down. Hands to the shins, inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale as you fold, plant the hands into the floor, step it back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, crouch low to the floor, push the ground away with the feet and wave forward to your plank. Exhale the knees down, lower the body to the floor. Inhale as you peel your rib cage off the floor, shine the heart forward, baby cobra. Exhale to lower. Push yourself up onto all fours, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg to the sky. Step the left foot to the left thumb. Inhale as you wave long through the spine. Make sure you feel grounded through the feet, and then exhale to push down through the feet. Reach the arms up overhead. Next inhale, straighten through the front leg, reach through the fingers. Exhale, lion's breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, inhale up. Exhale out. Inhale to reach up. Bring the hands down behind the back, interlace the fingers. Set your right heel down to the floor. Bend into the front knee, reach your fists down to the floor, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and with your exhale, fold forward to your humble warrior. Find your drishti. It might be towards the back foot, it might be the left big toe. Breathe for 3, for 2, And for 1, press down through the feet. With your inhale, rise up, lift the back heel, sweep the arms up overhead, high lunge. Bring the hands down to the floor, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg to the sky. And with your exhale, come forward to your plank, knee towards the chest. So either moving through to fallen star, sliding your left leg over to the right, setting your right heel down and lift right fingertips to the ceiling, or set your left knee down, right foot down and come to your supported side plank. Imagine someone's got hold of that top hand and they're lifting you up to the ceiling. You're lengthening through the arms. For 3, for 2, and for 1, bringing your right hand down to the floor, slide your left leg back to center, sweeping the left leg to the sky. Step your left foot to your left wrist and set your right heel down to the floor. Lifting up slightly so you can bring your left hand onto your left shin. Inhale, sweep the right arm forwards, really lengthens through the arms and the sides of the body. Sweep the arm back and down, big circles. Inhale, forwards and up. Exhale, roll it back and down. Just moving organically. Inhale as you reach up and roll the arm back and down. Next one, inhale, sweep your right fingertips, brushing them across the left forearm, starting to straighten out through your left leg, reaching your right fingertips up to the ceiling for Trikonasana, your triangle pose. Pressing firmly through the outer edge of that back foot along with the left toes. Breathe. For 3, for 2, and for 1, starting to look down towards your left big toe, bringing the hands down to frame the front foot and step your right foot to meet the left foot at the top of the mat, fold forwards. Roll up through the spine, sweep the arms up overhead, bring the weight into the right foot and lift the left foot off the floor. You can either keep the knee bent or you can extend the leg. Keep pushing down through that right foot, really lengthen through the body. Find your drishti. Maybe you close the eyes for a little challenge, or maybe you look up to the ceiling. Set the foot down to the floor. Keep reaching up through the fingertips, lifting your right foot off the floor. Press down through the left. Maybe you extend the leg. Take a breath in. With your exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat and open out to the long edge of the mat. Turn the toes out towards the corners. Bend the knees and send the knees out in line with the toes. So shuffle the feet around if you need to. You can take your stance wide. You don't need to sink the hips low. You can keep them high. Bring your arms out in front. Wrap your left arm underneath the right arm, eagle arms. So either back of hand to forearm or palms can be touching. Lift the elbows. Feel that stretch across the shoulder blades. Find your drishti. You might be looking towards your left thumb or your fingertips. Inhale, reach the fingertips up to the ceiling, getting that little back bend, lifting through the center of the chest. Exhale as you round through the spine, elbows to the stomach. Inhale, lift up. Fingertips to ceiling. Exhale, round through. Inhale, lift. And exhale to round through. Inhale to come back to center. Release the arms. Look to the top of the mat. Take a breath in and exhale out through the mouth and step it forwards like a ninja. If you want to take it again, step wide. Take a breath in. Look to where you're going. Pause for a moment. It's okay if you fall. Maybe you extend the leg. For 3, for 2, And for 1, set the foot down to the floor, bring the palms together, hands all the way down to heart center, down by the sides of the body, and find Tadasana, your mountain pose. So maybe closing the eyes again or softening the gaze. Coming back to notice that golden light in the pelvis. As you breathe in through the nose, send it all the way down into the pelvis and expand that light. And with your exhale, hug and lift up through the pelvic floor, the low belly. We're moving that light all the way up through the center and out through the nose. Next, inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale to float all the way down, hinge from the hips. Take your time. Just allow the body to hang here. Take the feet a little wider if you want to. Bend the knees as much as you want to. Plant the hands into the floor, step it back, downward facing dog. Either looking to the toes or the knees. Breathe for 3. For 2. And for 1. Coming down onto the knees, bring the big toes together, take the knees wide, sink the bum towards the heels and find a child's pose. You can keep reaching the arms out overhead, or you can bring the arms down by the sides of the body to make it a little bit more restorative. Just allowing the shoulders to roll forwards. You can always rest the forehead on a cushion, the hands, or a block. Just noticing where your mind is now. Is it drifting off? Or is it focused on one point? And that might be the breath, it might be the golden light, it might be a spot on your mat. But take this opportunity to be silent, to be still, and find your drishti. Slowly rolling yourself up, so either using the hands or if the arms are down by the sides of the body, just allowing the body to roll up any way that supports you best. Come to sit on the bum and swing the legs around and out in front. So keeping the legs out in front, just shuffle around on your sit bones and then pressing out through the soles of the feet, toes are pointing up. And you might have a slight bend in the knees, or you might press the backs of the legs into the floor. Bring your right leg in and take it over the left leg. And you can keep the left leg out long, or you can bend your left knee, bring the left heel to the right bum cheek. Sweeping your left arm around the outside edge of the right knee and just giving it a hug in. Bring your right fingertips behind you. Inhale to sit tall, lengthen through the spine, and with your exhale, a little twist, melting the chest over to the right and maybe taking the gaze over the shoulder. Finding your focused gaze here. So as we start to slow it down, it can be more challenging. The mind might start to drift. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Take a breath in, sit up tall, and with your exhale, unravel yourself back to center and cross the legs. Give them a shake out if you need to before we take it on the other side. Bring in the left knee in, take it over the right leg, and then choose your option. So either keeping the right leg out long, keep it flexed, or bending the knee and bring the heel towards the left bum cheek. Sweep your right arm around, give the knee a hug into the chest, left fingertips behind you, inhale, sit tall, and with your exhale, taking that little twist around to the left, maybe looking over the shoulder, maybe closing the eyes, or finding a spot to focus on. So once you stop moving, just noticing how the mind is affected, how it feels. Breathe for 3, for 2, and for 1. Inhale, sit tall, and with your exhale, unravel yourself back to center, uncross the legs, give them a shake out. Make sure you've got plenty of space behind you. Plant the feet into the floor, knees bent. Reach your arms forwards. Find that little hug and lift in the pelvic floor and hug the low belly in. Soften the shoulders, soften the face. Take a breath in. And with your exhale, slowly start to roll yourself down. So keeping that little hug and lift, but take as many breaths as you need to. So if you need to inhale again, take a breath in and then exhale to roll it down. Really moving with control. If you do just want to flop back and come to lie down, then you are more than welcome. But just take your time. And then eventually coming all the way down, hug the knees into the chest. And a little rock from side to side. Wrap the arms around the shins or the backs of the thighs. Give yourself a squeeze. Peeling the head and shoulders off the floor. Bring the nose towards the knees. Take a couple of breaths here, noticing that little hug and lift through the pelvic floor and the low belly. And then lowering the head, shoulders down to the floor and extending the legs out to come to Savasana. So just making your way there, taking your time. Take any final little movements if you need a full body stretch. Bit of space between the legs. Let the feet flop out to the sides. Finding a comfortable place for the arms. That might be down by the sides of the body, palms facing up, or resting the hands on the low belly. Closing the eyes or softening the gaze. Bringing your attention back to that golden light in the pelvis. As you breathe in, sending the breath all the way down to the light, feeling it, seeing expand. And with the exhale, one final hug and lift through the pelvic floor. Hug the low belly in and the light, pushing it all the way up and out through the nose. And the next time you inhale, just allow that to release. And with the exhale, let it out through the mouth and just allow the whole body to relax into the floor. For these last few moments of practice, just focus on the inflow and the outflow of the breath. Every exhale, softening into the floor. drift. Take a moment to come back to your intention, to the practice of dharana, concentration. Don't judge the mind if it's busy. Just acknowledge and accept the thoughts. Start to deepen the breath. And if you're ready to move, start to bring a little movement into the fingers and the toes. Rolling through the wrists and the ankles. And then hugging the knees up into the chest. Just taking your time, easing yourself out. Giving yourself a very well-deserved hug for making it onto your mat today. Thanking yourself, thanking your body. And then rolling onto one side, just pausing here for a moment, taking a few more soft, easy breaths. When you're ready, slowly pushing yourself up to come to a comfortable seat. Finding a bit of length through the spine, and if you wish to join me, bringing the hands to the heart center, bowing the forehead to the fingers, thanking you all so much for joining me today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much.